Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and in this video I wanted to talk about 5 benefits with the T-Mobile Home Internet. I've had T-Mobile Home Internet since March of 2022, so getting close to a year now. It's my primary internet. It's certainly not perfect, and I've done a lot of videos showing the good and the bad with this service. Hopefully it'll get improved, and it's still very usable, and for a lot of people it'll be much better than paying a high price, or if you're in a rural area and have really slow internet. But again, for this video I want to talk about 5 benefits. I think first and foremost is the price. It's $50 a month. It's locked. It's not going anywhere. Verizon has a similar home internet. Theirs was price locked, I think, for 2 years, and then there was one if you paid more, it was 3 years. Now they've been doing a promotion where you get 10 years. That's not going to be forever, but it's just I guess, an early adopter thing. So T-Mobile, I would hope that they would at least overdo Verizon and go for 4 or 5 years. I mean, especially in today's day and age of inflation and prices going crazy, to know that your home internet bill can be $50 a month, at least for the next several years. Hopefully they'll continue it beyond 3, 4, 5 years, and maybe try and match, go for 10 or something. That would be nice. But there are no contracts, so you can cancel whenever you want. And you can see, I mean, you do have 15 days. If you don't like it, if it doesn't work in your area, then you can get your money back. And then a lot of times they have promotions where you can get a month or two free. And again, so you can see it's a flat $50 a month. As you can see here, they charge me $50 a month every month. It's $5 off if you use autopay. I usually go in and manually, I have my credit card set up for autopay, but I usually just go in and pay it ahead of time. I believe you can also pick any amount you want. So if you wanted to pay $500 and put it in your balance, it'll pay up for 10 months at that $50, because you can actually overpay if you manually go in. But again, it also has the auto pay where you get the $5 discount that brings it down to 50. And I will say a few people in recent months have told me about maybe $60 or $65. That's a different tier of T-Mobile home internet that I don't know anything about and wouldn't recommend. It's for people that aren't in as ideal of a service area. I believe they cap how much data you can use, and they charge you more. So that's for people that'll be really desperate and would have to go with that. But that's not the standard T-Mobile home internet that I'm talking about. This one's always going to be $50 billed monthly. The second benefit with T-Mobile home internet is it's unlimited data. You can use as much as you want. The first few months I used, I think, 2 terabytes, then 1 terabyte. The reason being I was just doing a lot of speed tests. I downloaded a lot of next gen, PS5, Xbox Series games on purpose, just to see how quick they'd download and see if I did get slowed down, which I didn't. And then you can track how much you use. I don't think you can do it in the app, and I don't think you can do it on the gateway. But you can do it here on the website, and you can see just different months. Now there's also, messages and calls, which you really can't do that with the gateway, so that must just be how their website's set up, just kind of more phone oriented. But it is nice to see how much data you use. I've used, again, about maybe 200 to 300 gigabytes a month. Again, I've been downloading some new games, so I have used it a little more, but I've never experienced a slowdown. There's not supposed to be one. It's based on network traffic, not based on usage. And I've also read before I signed up for this service that someone used like 90 terabytes or something. People were complaining, but I think they were doing it on purpose just to see how much they could use. Now I'm not sure if you can, if you're doing something. I think there are like certain open torrents or just constant downloads that they say they don't want you to do, but I don't think any average user would be doing stuff like that. So if you're watching a ton of 4K or just downloading a bunch of video games, even if you're using 10 or 20 terabytes a month, I don't think you're going to have any issues. Now, the third benefit of T-Mobile home internet is the simplicity and ease of setup. I did make a video back when I got this, when I was trying it out. I did run into a few issues just with connecting to the device. As far as the simplicity, I mean, some people ask, do you need an Ethernet cable or anything? Or there's no setup really at all. It's as simple as getting a new TV or a new phone. You just plug the device in, and then you get that little pamphlet there that shows you, basic instructions and how to download their app, and you set up through the app. And there's no connecting to anything. You just plug it in, and then you're supposed to put it by a window, find the best signal, and go from there. Again, you want to connect it to your phone to name your network or put in your admin password and look at your signal strength. But once you set it up, you really don't need to ever mess with it again, beyond maybe just rebooting it, or just if you want to be more in depth and change your SSID or password or something like that. Now, maybe that could be a con for some people if you're not tech savvy at all, which again is why I made this video, and I'm sure others too now have done this. There are a few different gateways. Mine's the Arcadian, so my setup pertains to that. And again, that was almost a year ago, so it might be a little bit different now. But at least for that one, that seemed to help a lot of people. But again, I know some people might prefer when you have like a cable connection or something, there's an installer that's going to come in and set everything up for you. The advantage here is there's nothing to set up really. It's just that box, you plug it in. But it might be confusing though if you've never done anything like that before. And I would recommend, if you can, if you have an extension cord or something, just maybe to set it up outside to where you get the absolute best signal possible, and then walk around with that gateway and maybe bring it inside and then hit all the windows and just find out what there is a setup assistant too in the app once you're up and running that'll kind of aim you toward a tower, and you can get really in depth with that. And I've done some videos on playing around trying to find a signal. And I know a lot of other people too. So usually it just comes down to how good your local tower is. As long as you're not getting 1 or 2 bars, 3 or 4, you should be fine. And then obviously if you get full strength, you can't expect any more than that. And it is pretty simple. I mean, I set mine up and I've had mostly 4 bars, sometimes 3. But it's been pretty good, and I really haven't had to move it at all since I set it up. Now, the fourth benefit would be availability. It should be more widely available than any other home internet that I know of. I know it's more available than Verizon's home internet right now. I can't get Verizon's home internet. I tried getting T-Mobile's, I think, late 2019 when the service first went live. Unfortunately, it took like 2 years. I think March of 2022 when I signed up was pretty much as soon as I noticed it became available from checking. But T-Mobile, at least as far as 5G goes, seems to cover more of the country than anyone else right now. I think AT&T might offer a home internet service, but I'm not too familiar with it. I know it's much smaller, but I do think they have something on their website about that. But Verizon would be the other option. At one point, I was able to sign up, but at the time I didn't want to. And then later I did want to just get both of these services, and since then, for months now, I can't sign up. It says it's not available in this area. When it was Verizon LTE, to where T-Mobile was 5G. I think the biggest part with the availability is, again, rural areas and just areas where there isn't any other options. For me, I was using DSL prior, which was reliable, but very slow and very overpriced. Just was not a good package when you compare it even to cable. Also, again, in rural areas, a lot of people are using satellite internet. The few advertisements that were sent to me were awful. They might be like $50 a month or more, but then you look and it's capped at like 200 gigs, which is pretty awful. And that was maybe their top tier. A lot of them might have been as low as 50 gigs or less than that. And satellite, again, not being the most reliable, who knows just what the connection will be like, let alone having to deal with the caps. So any person that can get this compared to satellite, compared to DSL, I think it's a no-brainer. And it's great that it's offered to so many people. And for the fifth benefit, I would say it just comes down to the potential of 5G, next-gen speeds. Unfortunately for me, that's certainly not the case. I've never gotten anything that was truly mind-blowing. It is usually better than DSL. When it's under deprioritization, it usually isn't. It's very hit or miss. That's very annoying, but that's me in my situation. I've had a lot of people comment saying, they get 3, 4, 500 megabits download, and that's really definitely 5G. It's not gigabit. It's not like ultra wideband, but T-Mobile home internet is an ultra wideband. It's more on their mid band. So I'm sure again as years go on, and I know Verizon's kind of going for their C band. So I think theirs is going to be a little bit faster, and that's kind of why it's taking longer for them to get that availability that T-Mobile already has. So it's a fine line. It's a pretty good balance. It's not the greatest speeds at times, but you have a good bit more chance of being able to sign up for T-Mobile. So for me, I think the best I've received was maybe like 130 megabits download at night. The lowest ping I ever got was 18 milliseconds. Sometimes it goes way lower. Sometimes I'm under 5 megabits, which is pretty bad when that happens. But the uploads have always been pretty good. They're usually between 15 and 30. That's better than a lot of cable ISPs. But as far as upload goes, usually anything over 10 is enough to upload stuff or stream something. And then if you want to do, 4K or something, then usually 20. And that goes with download too. Usually anything over 20 is more than enough to do just about anything. The only time you would really need more is again if you're downloading a 100 gigabyte file, then you want the most speeds you can get just so it'll be quicker. But as far as just surfing and streaming and watching stuff and consuming, anything over 20 is pretty much perfect. But again, it seems that a lot of people do have those really high speeds. So hopefully, in time, my network will also get better like that. But then you have to factor in more users coming on. That may slow your speeds down as it did with me. So it's just a fine line again. How, hopefully they keep building it up, and it seems to be taking off. I'm sure it's the most populated home network option out there. So hopefully they should have enough cash flow and hopefully enough honesty to build up their network so that everyone can have those good 5G hundreds of megabits download. That's just that would really take out an ISP right there for $50 a month. So the fact that some people are getting that and hopefully in due time most people will be getting those speeds, that's a really good thing too. And as an added bonus, I would like to say that another benefit is all the different perks and promotions that you get as a T-Mobile customer. Now, I would like to emphasize, I think most of these are just for your first year, but still it's 1 year of a service, either for free or at a heavily reduced price, and then afterward, if you don't want to pay more, you can just cancel it, obviously. One of their newest ones is that Magenta Max there, where you can get a discount if you have Magenta Max, and there are reasons why you would want Magenta Max because it's not deprioritized. Unfortunately, the home internet gateway is. So that's where any of the issues I have, it's when other people are using their network, you're the one that gets slowed down. If you have Magenta Max data plan on your phone, you have the full priority of their network 24/7 no matter what. So if you want to have both, you'll get a discount there. There's Paramount Plus. I don't use that. I don't like most streaming things. There's Philo, which is a great option. It's the cheapest TV streaming service anyway, so you can get it even cheaper. For me, when I signed up, the current promotion was 50 or $10 off YouTube TV, which made it like 55 a month. I'm still using that. I also had I think a 3-month trial for YouTube Premium. It's nice not to deal with all the ads, but when you're like me and you make videos, you definitely like those ads. And then also Uma is a service I've tried. I've wanted to review it, but unfortunately I haven't been able to. T-Mobile's ping on my end, it just doesn't work very well. I can't keep it as a standalone landline. I have to stick with my old landline. Uma it just breaks up and there's too much delay and sometimes stuff gets lost or the call will get canceled. When it works, when when the network isn't under heavy utilization, Uma does work and it's a great service. But if you have T-Mobile home internet, you need to be a little bit more savvy. See if you have a good ping. If you know everything looks good, then you can switch or sign up for this Uma promotional price. But otherwise, I would steer clear of it, or you'll be like me, where you have to keep it for the 18 months unless you want to pay, I guess, like a cancellation fee or something, or you have to send the device back at your cost. So I did try it out, and obviously, if I ever get better ping, then I would be happy to use that as my primary non-cell phone line. But there again, that just shows there are a lot of features. You got the T-Mobile Tuesdays. You usually get a coupon for like pizza or different, I guess, partners and fast food companies that T-Mobile is associated with. So there's a lot of perks and benefits. And when you're only paying $50 a month in the first place, you can save $5 here and there. That's nice too. It's definitely a little perk. I think Verizon and other companies offer the same, but I figured that's worth mentioning as well. There's probably more things I could talk about. I have a playlist on all the different things and reviews and updates, speed tests, all that you can check out. There's other people on YouTube that do a better job than me too, but I just want to offer my opinion and my experience too, to add it all together for everyone to get a picture of what T-Mobile home internet's like. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.